Welcome back to the Mike Leaf Show right here on the Warrior Sports Network. Coach, back on the road again, final time this regular season as you head to Mankato to face Minnesota State on Friday and then head up to St. Paul to face Concordia-St. Paul on Saturday. Two teams you faced earlier in the year lost to Mankato but beat Concordia-St. Paul. Both teams that are playing really well this year. What do you got to do to get a couple wins here?
It comes down to playing some good defense and rebounding. It really does. And I know Concordia is playing really well right now, and they have a transfer from North Dakota State, a 7-footer that's back now, and he's ready to go. He wasn't there the first time we played him. And of course Mankato, they've lost a few games in between, but they've been on a pretty even keel. I guess it really does come down to our defense and just force some tough shots and even Mark Blacklock, we mentioned earlier that we really needed to get the rebounds on the defensive end, and that's something that Mark has really expressed to his teammates. And giving them one shot and getting the boards, we can't give them 2 or 3 looks. And Mankato's a team, and both teams that are good at crashing the boards offensively. So defense is going to win, and that's what we've got to have.
I think it was the first time you played Mankato. You mentioned, obviously they have good post players.
Right.
You mentioned Muhammad Ali Ben-Ammar was going to be big to try to, match up with the big guys that they have. Is that kind of still the same way? Will you need a guy like him to step up?
We're going to have to use both, he and Kyle and even Nick Arns. And those 3 guys are going to have to share the load. He's so strong and takes the ball so well to the basket. He's a veteran. And he's been around the block. He's played in some big games, so it's a tough one. But between the 3 of them, we've just got to make sure we're trying to keep them off that block and make them a little longer shots.
Mm-hmm. Riley Bamanek, a little bit of a tough weekend last week, but he seems to always really like playing Minnesota State, and he always has good games. Obviously you think of that first game you had against him. We scored 33 last year in one of his first games.
Yeah.
But scored 17 the first time you played him this year too. Is that just kind of a thing where big stage he likes to perform? Or?
I think that's a little bit for everybody. Mankato is a really nice, a fun place to play, and sometimes you can get too hyped over it. But I think every time we've gone in there. We've always wanted to put on a good showing, and we've had some successes there. But the successes all came to where we gave us an opportunity at the end of the game to win it. Mm-hmm. And I say that about every game that you're in because you just don't know what's going to happen. And across the league, there's such parity. So at Mankato, we got to get ourselves under that 5-minute mark where it's a really close ball game, or we'd love to be ahead. Yeah. But either way, where we're actually getting ourselves in a position to win and then executing down the stretch.
And then Concordia-St. Paul on Saturday. First time you beat them by, I think, 19 points. It was one of your best, I thought, conference games of the season so far. And then historically, you seem to always play well up in St. Paul at that place. So does that kind of give your team some confidence?
A little does and doesn't, just because of the change of their coaching staff, and they've become a much more disciplined team. They've got a lot of the same guys back, and I've always said Concordia is always one of the most dangerous teams in the league, but they just never brought it together correctly, I didn't believe. Mm-hmm. Well, now they've got a man at the helm that brings it together, and they're playing some great basketball. So he's brought a great offense to him. He's got some great athletes that are there, and that's why they're in the position that they're in right now. So we've had great successes there in the past, but it's a new era, and hopefully that can continue. But again, we're going to have to play extremely well.
Yep. All right, hard to believe. Only 4 games left of the regular season. These are the last 2 on the road, and then you'll finish up at home. But right now, you're looking forward to traveling to Mankato on Friday against Minnesota State. Yeah,
it's a short trip. You kind of like that, so it's not so far on the road. 2 great teams. Yep. You enjoy playing against great competition. And I know they're going to have great crowds, so it's something to look forward to. And again, we've got to learn to play better on the road, so this will be a great test for us.
As mentioned, so Minnesota State Friday, and then up to St. Paul to face Concordia-St. Paul on Saturday.
Yep.
You mentioned short trip, so hopefully some of the Warrior fans can make the trip and watch the Warriors in action. And then we'll be right back here next week on the Mike Leaf Show on the Warrior Sports Network.